So tonight, I'll play obviously my Wonder contest. So I've prepared some lineup. So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna try that with Barbarossa. I'm not a fan of Barbarossa, but the reason is here is that Cyrus deals so much damage. He's kind of Lubu, you know. When you have another DPS with Lubu, it doesn't matter because Lubu basically overshadows everyone else. Cyrus is kind of the same. Cyrus deals so much damage that you barely notice Boudica's damage. That's crazy, but that's kind of what it is. So my Boudica is only 3 stars, obviously, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but still, I had better results so far with Barbarossa because what this lineup needs is not another DPS because Cyrus does the work for like 3 DPS. Unlike in Season 2 and 3, if you remember, Boudica was better than Barbarossa because Barbarossa does not provide anything, where Boudica actually provides tons of damage in Season 2 and 3. If you compare the lineups, Season 2 and 3, you have Richard, Mansa Musa, Boudica, Leonidas. They kind of all deal the same amount of damage if you pair them together. But in Season 4, Cyrus deals so much damage that you barely need Boudica. So you need more tankiness to allow Cyrus to do what he does best, which is deal damage. So I'm gonna try Belisarius, Hannibal, and Ashoka. I'll try Belisarius first with Radiant Guardian on Hannibal. I wanna try different things, obviously. So maybe this is bad, but I wanna try it. Belisarius is not bad in swarming situations, but these ones here, they're very unfair. They are very high stats for some reason. So PvP will actually do better as a comparison. If you play this, I don't think it's that good in open field. I think this is gonna be amazing in rallies. And you could replace Ashoka with Cleopatra as well for a fully free-to-play lineup. I think this might do very good in rallies. If you want to play open field, I think you have to replace Ashoka by Justinian or something like that. Any tricks to leveling up heroes fast or way to find books reliably? Yes, when you are at the start of the server, you can do Battlefield Survivor. You can farm that to get some passive rewards. And then do tribes whenever you can. Whenever you have your stamina bar, do tribes. Tribes help a lot. Yeah, I have okay damage, but no tankiness whatsoever. Yeah, I feel like this lineup is better in rallies. I haven't lost a single HP here in comparison. Like, look at my pikemen, man, they're still full life. Okay, let's see how long I hold here. I have only one person. Go away! Let me 1v6. Yeah. Hannibal has never been a 1v1 lineup. It still does okay now with Belisarius, but Hannibal like really shines in rallies. Always has, by the way. I think I'll just AFK on the point. Strategy damage, still very good. I think this is better to snipe enemies. But yeah, without Justinian, you like very much tankiness. I'm running El Cid. Is it good for me to run Saladin and Tomyris? Yes, I think if you play El Cid, your best bet is to go Tomyris and Saladin. Because both of them have Roar of Victory, that's what it's called. And Tomyris provides decent damage buff. Like, I'm still not dying, by the way. But they have a nasty Ramses. You can see I do no damage to Ramses, so Ramses is actually a big problem for me. I'll try and snipe him. Okay, never mind, looks like I'm good to go. Yeah, I think this lineup's pretty strong, guys. I could legit AFK with this lineup. I need some might resistance. Okay, finally died. 27 kill streak. Wow. That seems balanced. So yeah, I think Belisarius with Hannibal way better in rallies, for sure. I think this is not good in open field. I think you really need Justinian in open field. Before that, it's... Let's see how I do here. Yeah, I'm struggling. Then again, I have, like, Cyrus, to put it in comparison, I have close to everything upgraded in technology tree, whereas Cavalry I do not. I think Barbarossa, you can see how long I survived here. I think this is all due to Barbarossa. And that's also why Leonidas or Richard don't do well. It's because Cyrus is too overpowered. That's the issue, that's the same issue with Lubu. If you remember Lubu, Lubu does not need anyone else. Lubu only needs Attila. And Cyrus only really needs Mensa Musa, if you think about it. Because Lubu and Cyrus are the center of attention. They are the damage dealer of the lineup, of the composition. So they don't need anyone else to do damage. And because of that, you want to fully support your Cyrus. Whereas in Season 2 and 3, you don't have such a powerhouse. You don't have a king of pikemen. You have okay commanders, you have okay heroes. Boudica is very good, hero again. But she's very far from being on the scale of Cyrus. So yeah. I did not expect Cyrus to be this strong when I first saw him. But he's amazingly strong, basically. Also, your scrolls were lacking. Yeah, Hannibal is basically 0 upgrade. Same for my Ashoka too. But yeah, Justinian I think would be better here. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure again, until I test it, of course. I'll go and grab some strategy resistance here. Don't forget Ram with Caesar and Octavian. Yeah, Ram etc. still do okay. They're still a pretty good support lineup. Like, my damage is still decent when I have my activations. There's no denying that. Like, I do 30k damage to Lubu in every activation, so Lubu definitely has to be careful in open field. Look at that damage, man! What the hell? This is my first time actually playing him. I mean, second time. Like, in real conditions. Yeah, I'm still doing good damage. But, I mean... Like, Cyrus is so broken. I mean, that's what Warrior Pikeman has always been, by the way. You just AFK and let people hurt you. Still alive here? Oh yeah. I think they noticed that I'm not moving, so I think they started avoiding attacking me. Yeah, they're not attacking me anymore. I need to adapt. Is it worth to upgrade Yodit to 5 in Season 2? I think Yodit is a very strong damage dealer. Especially as a secondary hero if you put her 5 stars. And as you can see, you are gonna need swordsmen in Season 4. But is she mandatory? I don't think she is. So if you are low on resources, maybe don't. Maybe wait for Lagertha or something. I cannot say yet who's better than the other. Look, I'm getting so many points, I'm not even playing, man. Man, look at them all here. Like, the damage I deal is crazy. Let's see here. But again, here, my Belisarius, my Hannibal has no upgrade, etc. So it's very bland in comparison to my Cyrus lineup. But they're ignoring me. Attack me, or I will attack you myself. Ramses' sword, yeah. Like you can see, without Ashoka, without Justinian, I deal good damage, but I'm still getting melted. Where here, I just deal damage. I don't even have to think. I just have to be here. Over Lu Bu, yeah. Lu Bu is still very strong, but the more we progress, the less we are into a glass cannon meta. I think that's where Lu Bu falls short. I mean, it's not Lu Bu that falls short, it's his supports. Timur does not provide much. He's okay, but he's not, you know, he's not amazing either. Like, I'm gathering so many points doing nothing. I wish they would all target me here. I'm targeting this archer here with my Belisarius. But yeah, I think Belisarius is better off in Tactician Pack. But again, that depends on how you play and on your on what you can afford as well, on your resources. What's even happening, man? I don't even know. If you have Belisarius and Mulan, who keeps Radiant? I think if you have Ashoka, you don't need Radiant on Belisarius. Because he has so much activation already. I'll explain why Belisarius does amazing with double attack. Okay, guys, it's time for the lesson, okay? So listen up. Listen up, students. Let's look at Belisarius' signature skill, if you please. After launching a normal attack, deals 1 instance of strategy damage to the enemy troop every 2 activations, so this is his 3rd star, otherwise it's 3 activations. Additionally triggers a random learned secondary strike skill with 35% increased damage. So why do I use this setup here? This is his customizable, his new customizable skills, which deals additional damage every time you trigger it, up to 4 stacks. Every 2 activations of my signature skill, I will trigger a random learned secondary strike skill. And because if you take these 2 customizable skills, double attack is an active skill, it's not a secondary strike skill. Conquering Iron Hoof is a secondary strike skill. So if you take these 2 skills, every 2 activations, you will not trigger a random secondary strike skill because there's only one. There's only this customizable skill because the other one is not a secondary strike skill. So if you take Conquering Iron Hoof with double attack, you are 100% sure to trigger this one every 2 activations of your signature skill. Whereas if I were to take Conquering Iron Hoof plus Crushing Impact, it would be 50% chance to trigger either Crushing Impact or Iron Hoof. But because I have double attack and this one, double attack being an active skill, it is not triggered by my signature skill. So by going double attack, you ensure that you activate Conquering Iron Hoof every time. I don't know if that was clear. I'll explain it better in video, of course. But basically you maximize your damage that way. And that's also the best way to make use of double attack. Of course, if you have Radiant Guardian, you can use it if you're not using Mulan, for instance. You can see I deal good damage to this Lu Bu here. I dealt like, yeah, like you can see when I activate my skills. What would you use for Radiant and for Tech Pact? I mean, if I don't play Mulan, I would still play with Radiant. Now, if I use Mulan, well, first thing I like using, obviously, is Lofty Mountain. Lofty Mountain bringing armor reduction, armor resistance, sorry. Because you're a tactician hero, you like having armor resistance, right? So Lofty Mountain is a perfect fit here, especially if you play rallies. I like Ring of Clover as well. I think Ring of Clover on Tactician Pike is very good, because again, it's an army that's made for rallies, most likely. So Ring of Clover actually is very good. And then, if you don't use Radiant Guardian... I tried Nightwolf, and Nightwolf doesn't do amazing, because what makes Nightwolf good with Lu Bu is that he benefits a lot from his normal attacks, so that's very good for Lu Bu. And Lu Bu has critical strikes, which Belisarius does not. I guess Crow or Lion could be okay. Cyrus doesn't need Boudica. Yes, that's what I was explaining earlier, Rafangelo, is that you kind of have this, you have the same issue, like issue in big, in big quotation marks, with Lu Bu, is that Lu Bu is so strong that if you place a second DPS with Lu Bu, if you place, I don't know, Guan Yu DPS, for instance, you will barely notice Guan Yu DPS, because Lu Bu does so much damage. It deals so much damage that you basically don't notice anyone else. So you're better off with supports to emphasize on Lu Bu's strength, rather than having a second DPS. If you play Cyrus, that's the exact same thing. I can show you here. My Boudica is only 3 stars, okay, so she could be better. And she had no skills, but basically I did the test with full stars on Boudica, okay? I did the test with 5-star skills. Boudica's damage in comparison to Cyrus is very small, and it's the same for Leonidas and Richard. In Season 2 and 3, if you play Boudica, Mensa Musa, and Richard, you probably notice that they both, the 3 of them do nearly the same amount of damage. That's why Ring of Deer is so good on this lineup, by the way. But in Season 4, Cyrus is predominant. Cyrus is above everyone else in the lineup. So if you bring another DPS, you barely notice him, because the damage is mostly dealt by Cyrus. So Barbarossa actually provides more to the lineup because he provides time for Cyrus to deal damage. That's the only reason why he's ever good. Barbarossa is still a pretty mediocre hero, right? Don't get me wrong. Do not play Barbarossa before Season 4, it's bad. But in Season 4, because Cyrus is so strong, he actually becomes usable, because he provides resistance. I'm not gonna lie, I was very surprised. But that's my analysis, is I think that Cyrus is so strong that you barely notice over DPS. And that's kind of what you can see as well in the reports I showed you. Cyrus, Barbarossa, Leonidas. I think Mensa Musa is... I wouldn't say mandatory, but I think Mensa Musa is to Cyrus what Attila is to Lu Bu. Meaning that if you play Lu Bu, and maybe you'll agree with me, Rafangelo, if you play Lu Bu, you could play anyone, but you need to have Attila. You can play Lu Bu Attila Rani, you can play Lu Bu Guan Yu Attila, you can play Guan Yu Seed Attila, you can play Lu Bu Hannibal Attila, it doesn't matter. You need Attila. Attila is is part of the reason why Lu Bu is so strong. Mensa Musa provides, at 5 stars, damage reduction at all times in swarming situations. And he provides damage boost as well. So he's amazing. No YouTube notification? Really? I'm getting cancelled.